which is why at First Form, we don't take shortcuts with the supplements that will help you reach them. As long as you're willing to put in the work, we will help you reach your goals. First Form was founded on quality, built on service, and is measured on results. All of our products are backed by our 110% money-back guarantee. Our industry-leading nutritional supplements will help you maximize your potential. Never settle for less than your best. Visit firstform.com today.
When your little rookie slides headfirst onto the IL, where fever has you benched, you need Mercy Now. Go to mercynow.net, answer a few questions, and find your best, quickest option for care. With virtual, in-person, digital, and urgent care visits, we've got your bases covered. Find care now at mercynow.net. Mercy, official medical provider of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Giovanni Gallegos went 3 innings in the Cardinals' loss on Saturday in Washington, D.C., but he saved the bullpen for the rest of the series, and the Cardinals won the next 2 games.
Yeah, he pitched okay, too, a little bit better. I think he's just taken steps in the right direction, but the length that he gave certainly helped the Cardinals the next day, and part of the reason they had such a good road trip.
The Cardinals went 5-2 on that trip, but trailed the Royals by 3 with Kansas City batting in the 9th. Fastball's in there for a strike to M.J. Melendez. Melendez doubled in a run and scored another in the 3-run 5th inning. That's when Kansas City tied the score. Perez hit a home run the next inning, and then Kansas City added 2. And here's a high pop foul off to the right. Goldschmidt by the tarp gives it a look, and the ball goes out of play. Listen to every MLB game live, plus watch the minor leagues, MLB Big Inning, and available pre- and post-game shows. No blackouts. Visit MLB.com/at-bat for all the information. Gallegos is the third Cardinal pitcher. Melendez swings and strikes out on the wipeout slider. When Gio's on, that pitch is really on. Let's pause here for a station ID on the Cardinals Network, powered by Graybar.
You're listening to WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. The Cardinals brought to you by Route 66 Solar, Central Illinois' local trusted solar installation company. For a free estimate, call 217-652-6533.
Along with Ricky Horton, Mike Claiborne, our producer-engineer Jim Jackson, I'm John Rooney at Busch Stadium. A check swing and a strike on a 92-mile-an-hour sinker from 32-year-old Giovanni Gallegos. Gallegos from Mexico came to the Cardinals from the New York Yankees. Here's a smash foul. Goes down by the tarp area down the right field line. 0-2 on Massey. Massey grounded out facing Roycroft in the 7th inning as a pinch hitter for Nick Lofton. Gio came up with the Yankees and pitched in 16 games for them in 2017. Got into 4 games in 18 before joining the Cardinals. The pitch, low. Jason Shreve, a left-hander, was also involved in that, and he saw a lot more time out of the bullpen at that point, with Gallegos coming up shortly thereafter and getting into 66 games in 2019.
Boy, was he good.
Gallegos dangles the right arm. The 1-2 pitch here from Michael Massey, high with a fastball, 2-2. The Royals have out hit the Cardinals 9-4 and lead 6-3 with 1 out in the 9th. And the Cardinals have Contreras, Goldschmidt, and Donovan coming up. Ground ball pounded on the ground to the second baseman. And the throw by Gorman. Massey is out. Massey tomahawked that one. Garrett Hampson is coming up. For me, Ricky, that's the play of the game with Garrett Hampson hitting a double with 1 out in the 5th inning, tying the score.
You know, I saw that pitch a second and a third time, and it was not a terrible pitch. I mean, it didn't have a lot of sink to it. It was in the middle of the plate. It was down, and Hampson just jumped on it, hit it in the right spot in that gap in left center.
He's 1 for 3 with that double, and a slider is swung on and missed by Hampson. Andre Palante gave up 4 runs on 6 hits over 6 1/3 today. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 5 and allowed the Perez home run. Here's a fastball taken high for a ball. 1-1 as Gallegos faces Hampson with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Roycroft, an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, threw a wild pitch and struck out 1. He struck out Hampson. Hampson faces Gallegos. There's a swing, and the ball is popped up. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt moving over by the Cardinal dugout, makes the catch in front of the dugout. Well, a do-or-die bottom of the ninth is coming up for the Cardinals, trailing Kansas City 6-3.
Hey, Ameren, Illinois energy savings expert Matt Minster here with an Energy Pop quiz. True or false? Switching to smart bulbs, plugs, and thermostats can reduce your energy footprint. That's right, and the savings won't stop there. Smart devices also save you time, so you can dedicate more to things that matter, like fetch with the dog, or finishing that DIY project. So be smart. Visit AmerenIllinois.com/savings made easy for more energy savings tips.
Enjoy a true St. Louis Cardinals baseball experience. Book your Grand Slam ticket package today at the luxurious Marriott St. Louis Grand, steps away from Busch Stadium. You'll get 2 Cardinals tickets, plus free hotel self-parking, complimentary high-speed internet access, and $20 towards a great pregame or postgame meal at Zinnia Bar and Grill. Grand Slam ticket packages start at $199. Book yours today at MarriottStLouisGrand.com. That's MarriottStLouisGrand.com. Proud hotel partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Mason Wynn here, Cardinals shortstop and proud partner of Community America Credit Union. I've been in it to win it since day one, which is why I chose Community America. Community America is built to help more people achieve financial peace of mind with exclusive benefits like sharing a portion of our annual profits. Community America can help you reach your financial goals, big and small. Join Missouri's largest credit union, now expanding in St. Louis. Visit CommunityAmerica.com to become a member today.
With us today, a developer from SeatGeek. Quick question. My son's wedding clashes with the baseball game. Do you have an innovation to make him reschedule the wedding?
No, but you can sell your tickets on SeatGeek.
Interesting. What about selling a wedding invitation? I'm joking. Maybe.
Expect the expected. SeatGeek. Buy and sell St. Louis Cardinals tickets on SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Royals lead 6-3, and James MacArthur is on trying to close this out for their starting pitcher, Alec Marsh. The Royals have left 3 runners on. Ricky, they're 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. The Cardinals have stranded 2, and they are 0 for 0 with runners in scoring position. A swing and a miss by Wilson Contreras.
And that's the difference between winning and losing.
MacArthur, tall right-hander, working to Contreras. He lines it down the left field line, just foul. The Cardinals have 1 hit since a 2-run homer by Alec Burleson in the 3rd inning. That happened to be a 1-out single by Pedro Pajes in the 8th inning. Royal pitchers retired 15 in a row, 11 of those by the starter Alec Marsh before he gave way to Will Smith. 0-2 on Contreras. MacArthur's pitch, a swing and a miss, 1 out in the 9th inning. This game is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. Crack open the game with Budweiser, enjoy unrivaled flavor and refreshment.
MacArthur came over from Philadelphia. Makes me think of a former Cardinal pitcher who runs the pro scouting for the Royals. That's Tim Conroy. I'm sure he had a hand in getting him from Phillies, and he is now their closer.
The fastball goes outside to Paul Goldschmidt, who has struck out 3 times today. MacArthur with the next pitch. Goldschmidt hits a high drive, deep right field, to the corner, near the pole, and that ball is a home run. A home run for Paul Goldschmidt. Just getting over the wall.
Well, you could tell off the bat that Goldie got it on the barrel. The question is, would it be fair enough? Would it be long enough? Because he really just lofted it down the right field line, 335. He hit it about, 336? Just barely over the wall. And the Cardinals now within 2. You don't get many 343 feet home runs in this game.
Brendan Donovan, the batter, facing MacArthur. The pitch to Donnie. Taken for a strike.
Donnie's got a on-base streak on the line here.
That home run's the fifth given up by MacArthur, and a strike to Donovan. Donovan says, I want my batter's timeout, and takes it here. The Cardinals trail by 2. They've hit 3 home runs today. MacArthur with the 2-strike pitch. Donovan takes upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Donovan's trying to get on to make Nolan Arenado the tying run. Contreras struck out. Goldschmidt just hit one out in the right field corner. The pitch. Donovan checks his swing, taking a ball high. The fastball in the mid-90s for James MacArthur. The 2-2 pitch. A swing and a foul. That goes out of play off to the left. Oh, to get that tying run to the plate.
That's what you want. Give yourself a chance.
Giovanni Gallegos worked 1 inning with a strikeout, keeping the score at 6-3, and then Goldie hit a home run. The 2-2 pitch with 1 out. Donovan swings to a fastball. He strikes out. 0 for 4 for Donovan. With the Cardinals down to their last out, here's Nolan Arenado. Arenado has a home run and 3 at-bats, a homer, a fly out, and a ground out.
Boy, interesting day for Goldschmidt, isn't it? 3 strikeouts, then a home run.
An opposite field home run at that. The pitch by MacArthur, a swing, and there's a base hit to left field. Arenado keeps the game going, a 2 for 4 day for him. Just a nice level approach to the ball. And it shot off his bat in between the third baseman Garcia and with the shortstop.
There's some Royal fans here, but there's some Cardinal fans. You just heard them. And this is the moment they wanted to see in the bottom of the 9th inning. Lars Nootbaar coming to the plate representing the tying run.
Nootbaar's day so far, a ground out, a strikeout swinging, and a pop-up to the second baseman in right field. A mound visit by Perez. The other infielders gather around MacArthur and Perez. And the conference breaks up. Nootbaar has hit 5 home runs, driving in 19 this season.
Helsley now playing catch in the Cardinals' pen in case the miraculous bottom of the 9th happens.
The Cardinals are down by 2. They're down to their last out. And here's Nootbaar. He has 1 home run in his career against the Royals, while going 7 out of 21 with 2 doubles and a homer. There goes the runner for second. Nootbaar takes a wild pitch. A ball inside, and holding on at second, Arenado. It goes as defensive indifference. But that ball went shooting past Perez. MacArthur was going to make sure that pitch was low and it was inside, and it was both all the way to the bricks. On deck, Nolan Gorman. The pitch. Nootbaar looks at a slider for a strike. 1-1.
He's got that big slider. He probably calls it a sweeper, I would imagine, because it's got a big, huge break to it.
MacArthur with the sign from the belt. Arenado leads at second. The pitch. Nootbaar lines that to center field, and it's caught on the run by Hempson. This ball game has come to an end. The Cardinals got a run, 2 hits, and left a man on, and came up short in game 1 of the day-night doubleheader, with Kansas City winning 6-4. Ricky and I will talk about it after this.
A slap of the bat, high fives at the plate. They're all celebrated at Pia Sports Bar and Grill after the game. Super beer specials, great drinks, big screen TVs, and fun food all await you at Pia's. Whether it be Pia's delicious wings, the big pork tenderloin, or Pia's famous Grand Slam or Slugger Burger, you'll find all your favorites available until 11 p.m. Chill out at Pia's in the beer garden and enjoy being served by a great staff. See you at Pia's, Springfield and Mattis, Champaign.
Whether your project is below ground, above ground, or you're just breaking ground, United Rentals has the equipment and tools you need. They rent and sell everything from forklifts and backhoes to scissor lifts, trench shoring systems, and portable restrooms. They also offer a complete range of industrial tools for any job, small or large. Count on United Rentals for the world's largest rental fleet, backed by a team of equipment experts ready to help you get the job done. For the branch nearest you, visit UnitedRentals.com or call 800-UR-RENTS. Dixie Chopper and Dedicated Diesel lawn mowing business is up and running. Do I got any deals going?
Oh, yeah. We're going to carry through the $1,000 off any Z2 residential mower. Go talk to Andy. If you have a comparative price on a mower that would compare to a Dixie Chopper, which I don't think you'll find one in a big box store, but we're going to make it right and get as close as we can with the quality that you're getting.
Can't imagine the ones I see sitting out in big box stores. They're sitting out in the rain, man. What the heck?
Well, yeah, they're sitting out in the rain, but they're not made as well. You're going to have frame problems. You're not going to have where you're going to take it to get a fork fixed if it busted. You can get a hold of Dedicated Diesel on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment. You can call Andy at 217-328-0562. Visit them at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. Connect with me on email at temo@gftlog.com. We'll get you set up one way or the other.
Ricky, the Cardinals got off to a good start with a homer by Arenado and a two-run homer by Burleson.
Yeah, and if you told me there'd be a game where Arenado, Goldie, and Burleson all homer in the same game, and the starting pitcher was okay, I would say you win that game. But today's not that day, as the home runs, two of them were solo shots, and just the one bad inning for Andre Palante, and then kind of a rough outing for Chris Roycroft, too, who gave up those two extra runs late. Those runs are always hard to get back.
That they are. MacArthur gave up a run. He allowed a home run to Paul Goldschmidt and a base hit for Arenado. Arenado went to second on indifference, and the tying run was Nootbaar at the plate, but Nootbaar hit a fly ball for an out, and the Royals won the first of two, 6-4.
Cardinals had some hitting streaks snapped today, including Nootbaar's at 5, and Donovan's 21 on base streak was snapped today. And yet Pedro Pages was able to pick up a hit to extend his to 6 straight games. And the Cardinals again hit the long ball today. They just didn't do as much damage with it because there was not a lot of traffic, as they only managed 6 hits, 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Cardinals, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Kansas City. Marsh the winner, 7-6. Palante was the losing pitcher. He is 4-4. And the save, number 16, goes to MacArthur.
A 2-hour, 27-minute game, 32,108 tickets sold. The play of the game is presented by Marriott St. Louis Grand. Book your Grand Slam Cardinals ticket package. Do that right now. We'll hear that play when we come back.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
As a local family-owned solar installer, we're right here in your community. When you choose Route 66 Solar, you work directly with us during the entire process.
From quality American-made solar equipment to our in-house installation crews, we don't cut corners, and we back all parts and labor with our 30-year warranty. It doesn't cost you anything to get a second opinion, to be confident that you're getting the best quality at the best price.
For peace of mind, call Route 66 Solar for your free estimate today.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. As much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Below.
The Cardinals got out to a 3-0 lead on a home run by Arenado in the second inning, a walk to Pius, and a home run by Burleson in the third. But the Royals got their line moving in the fifth inning. A leadoff double by Hunter Renfroe, an infield hit by Freddie Fermin, and then MJ Melendez hit a double driving in a run after a ground out by Nick Lofton. After the ground out, it was Garrett Hampson coming to the plate. Hampson was up with a chance to do some damage. He did with the play of the game presented by Marriott St. Louis Grand. With runners at second and third, the 2-1 pitch. There's a drive hit well, left center field. That ball is going to get down and go to the wall. We're going to be tied. Here comes the throw in, and Mason Wynn has no chance to throw onto the plate. A double for Hampson, scoring Fermin and Melendez. And it's a 3-3 game here in St. Louis. Well, that was the play of the game for me, Ricky, where they came back to tie it up, and a couple of strikeouts ended the inning for Palante. And then it was a home run by Perez in the sixth inning, and Roycroft gave up 2 in the eighth inning and just couldn't get those runs back.
Well, it felt like it was the Cardinals' game until that double by Hampson. And we were talking about the fact that Palante was facing a test there. I mean, the first test is, do you come out firing and have a good start, which he did. It was really good through the first 4 innings. And then that test with runners on base is, could he minimize the damage? And that hit really changed that inning, changed the game. Now, Palante was able to stay out there and actually got an out, John, in the 7th inning and threw as many pitches as he's ever thrown as a professional. 101 pitches for Palante, so I give him credit for that. I would say a decent start for him, but he ends up picking up loss number 4.
Where did the offense go?
Well, it got rained out, I guess, yesterday. And
that's what it felt like.
Maybe it's a little soggy from yesterday.
Maybe, because at one point, the Cardinals had the 3-0 lead. After that, the starting pitcher, Alec Marsh, retired 11 straight. Then Smith, on his 35th birthday, Will Smith got a 3-up, 3-down inning. Long, another lefty, got the first out before giving up a hit to Pius. And as it turned out, the Royals retired 20 of the last 23 batters, insulting this one away 6-4.
Yeah, and the Cardinals just really couldn't get anything going until the 9th inning. And I like the at-bats in the 9th, even Lars Nootbaar's line out in the 9th inning. If you got on top of that a little more, maybe that's a gapper. Maybe he's in scoring position for Nolan Gorman with the tying run on base. I mean, maybe, but it didn't happen as the Cardinals, they lose a close game. They've been winning a lot of close games, and they lose a close one here this afternoon, 6-4, but a chance for redemption here in just a few hours.
And that's Gordon Graceffo coming up as the 27th man, making his first Major League start. He had an outing of 4 1/3 innings as a relief pitcher when they needed him in an extra situation, and did very, very well, so he gets another chance here tonight.
We like what we saw from him. I liked him in spring training, too. He's got good off-speed pitches, good assortment, and on the other side, it's Michael Wacha, former Cardinal, who has kind of added a bit of a slider. He's throwing a slightly different breaking pitch. He's always had a good curveball, had that wipeout changeup. Honestly, when he first came to the big leagues, that was as good a pitch as anything from Wacha, but he's been able to, despite some injuries, put together a very good career, and he's having a good season for the Royals, so he won't be easy here tonight.
And he's 2-0 against the Cardinals with a win as a member of the Red Sox and a win last year with the San Diego Padres. So that's coming up in a while on the air at 5:50. 6:35, Ricky will have the lineups. I'll bring you the first pitch around 6:45 as the Cardinals try to gain a split against the Royals in this 2-game series and this day-night doubleheader. The first game goes to Kansas City, 6-4. Thanks to our producer-engineer, Jim Jackson, to Matt Pajeski in the St. Louis studio. Tom Ackerman had our pregame show. Matt Pauley is coming up with a postgame show. And Kyle Sixta is our booth assistant here today, filling in for Ethan Hannaford. Now, on behalf of Mike Claiborne and Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Royals won the first one 6-4, and so long for just a while. St. Louis Cardinals baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser, official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. Crack open the game with Budweiser and enjoy unrivaled flavor and refreshment. By your quality Ford dealers, the official vehicles of the St. Louis Cardinals. By Schnucks. Earn 2% back on every purchase with the Schnucks Rewards app. by Shelter Insurance. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com to help you choose the coverage that fits just right for your auto, home, and life insurance. By Explore St. Louis. Learn all about the great things to do in St. Louis. Visit ExploreSt.Louis.com. By Central Bank, the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. By the Painting and Decorating Foundation. And by Sonic Drive-In. Live free, eat Sonic. This is the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
Game one of the split doubleheader goes to the Royals as we are playing an entire two-game series this day here at Busch Stadium. Kansas City comes away with a 6-4 victory. Welcome in to the Mercy Cardinals post-game show. My name is Matt Pauley, coming your way from Busch Stadium. We will have the second game. Our coverage of that is going to begin in just over 2 hours at about 5:50 when we are going to be on the air for game number 2. But before we can get to that, we got to go back through what happened in game number 1. Cardinals losing 6-4. They were up 3-0 after a couple innings. They got home runs today from Nolan Arenado in the second inning, Alec Burleson in the third inning. That's what gave them the 3-0 lead, and Paul Goldschmidt added one in the ninth inning as the Cardinals tried to climb just a little bit closer, but it was not enough. With that home run, however, or those home runs, I should say, the Cardinals do score you a free donut tomorrow at Schnucks. Open the Schnucks Rewards app tomorrow and clip the Cardinals digital coupon for your free, freshly made donut while supplies last. Coming up on this edition of the Mercy Cardinals postgame show, we will get the postgame comments of Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. We also hope to hear from a few players before all is said and done. But up next, we're going back through the game with the highlights. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
Our culture always encourages perseverance in the face of adversity. But why do some women face judgment and pressure to give up when they become pregnant? Shouldn't we provide them with the support and options they need to navigate the journey of motherhood with dignity? It's time to uplift and honor women. Think about it. This ad was paid for by Vitae Foundation. For more information on Vitae, visit adsforlife.org. That's adsforlife.org.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
Illini fans, join us in Memorial Stadium as we honor 100 years of tradition with $100 football season tickets. Don't miss a moment this season and lock in your tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against the University of Michigan. Experience more cherished moments in Memorial Stadium this season and get your $100 season tickets at fightingillini.com.
The sun is setting on the most substantial solar incentive currently available in Illinois. If you've ever considered converting your home or business to solar, the time to take action is now. You still have time to lock in these significant long-term savings solar offers. Contact Route 66 Solar today before it's too late to take advantage of one of the best solar incentives still available. Call us directly at 217-652-6533 or sign up online for a free estimate at Route66Solar.com. Route 66 Solar, the local installer your neighbors trust.
You're listening to WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. The Cardinals brought to you by Route 66 Solar, Central Illinois' local trusted solar installation company. For a free estimate, call 217-652-6533.
The Cardinals lose Game 1 of their doubleheader against Kansas City, falling today by a 6-4 score. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show across the Cardinals radio network. Let's go back through the game with the highlights. Pitching matchup, Andre Palante going for the Cardinals and Alec Marsh, the pitcher for the Royals. It would be the Cardinals who would strike first. It happens in the second inning with one out. Nolan Arenado is at the plate.
There's a swing and a long one. Left center field. That's hit back, and it's a gunner. A home run for Arenado, his 8th of the year. And for Arenado, his 10th against the Kansas City Royals.
So Arenado goes deep. It's a home run that travels 411 feet, and the Cardinals take that 1-0 lead. They add to their lead in the third. Pedro Pajes leads the inning off with a walk, and then with one out, it's Alec Burleson at the plate.
2-2 the count on Burleson, and the pitch is hit high in the air to right field, and that's backing up Renfroe, and he looks up, and it's gone! A big fly for Burley! A 2-run home run, the Cardinals' second home run of the afternoon, and it's 3-0 Redbirds. Home run number 15 for Alec.
A 380-foot home run for Burleson makes it 3-0. And then Andre Palante looked really good through his first few innings. He would have a 1-2-3 top of the fourth with 2 outs. Salvador Perez at the plate.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a swing and a miss. He strikes out the all-star catcher Perez. A 1-2-3 inning for Palante, and he has now retired 8 straight.
But the 5th inning would not go quite as well for Palante. The inning starts off with a Hunter Renfroe ground rule double. Then Freddie Fermin had a soft hit single where Renfroe goes to third. That brings up MJ Melendez.
Melendez singles into center to put the Royals on the board. He might get more. In fact, that ball's rolling all the way to the track. Coming around third for Mean. He'll be held on the double by Melendez. It's a 3-1 Cardinal lead.
And the Royals are not done in the inning after a Nick Lofton ground out. It's Garrett Hampson standing in.
There's a drive hit well, left center field. That ball is going to get down and go to the wall. We're going to be tied. Here comes the throw in, and Mason Wynn has no chance to throw onto the plate. A double for Hampson, scoring Fermin and Melendez, and it's a 3-3 game here in St. Louis.
But Palante does do a good job to limit the damage. He strikes out Michael Garcia. Garrett Hampson would then steal third, but he would be stranded there because the next hitter is Bobby Witt Jr.
The 2-2 pitch. A swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt, strike 3. Witt strikes out. The Royals tied it, but they couldn't take the lead.
So that sends the game to the bottom of the 5th inning and eventually into the 6th inning, tied 3-3. And the Royals would take the lead in the 6th, as with one out, Salvador Perez comes up to the plate.
He hits that hard into center field. Looking up, Nootbaar watches that fly out for a home run. 4-3 Kansas City on Perez. One out home run in the 6th inning. And that's his 15th of the year.
Hunter Renfroe has a ground out for the second out of the inning, and it brings up Freddie Fermin.
Here it is. Check swing. Did he offer? Yes, he's out on strikes. The home plate umpire Jimenez called him out. 5 strikeouts for Palante.
So that sends the game to the bottom of the 6th inning and eventually to the 7th inning. Andre Palante still pitching into the 7th for the Cardinals. First batter that he would face, only batter that he would face in the 7th inning, is MJ Melendez.
3-2 pitch coming up to Melendez, and that's hit towards left field. Donovan coming in, the dive, and he caught it! On the dive, Donovan makes the play, out number one. Outstanding. The Cardinals outfielders do that day in and day out.
Outstanding indeed. Donovan made up a lot of ground very quickly to get to that, and that would be the final out recorded by Andre Palante as Chris Roycroft would come on. He would get the final 2 outs in the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th inning, Will Smith comes on to pitch for the Royals as Alec Marsh's day was done. To the 8th inning we go, and Roycroft still pitching for the Cardinals. He gives up a base hit to Michael Garcia. Then Bobby Witt Jr. singles, so that puts runners on at first and third for Vinny Pasquantino. He would hit a sacrifice fly. It would score Garcia, and it would add to the Royals' lead. It is 5-3. A wild pitch allows Witt to go to second, and then once again, it's Salvador Perez coming through.
And the pitch for Perez. That is stroked into center field, a base hit. Witt is going to come around, and a 6-3 lead for Kansas City, and a 2 RBI day for Perez.
Game goes to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Cardinals, they were really struggling from an offensive standpoint. They would finally get a hit in the 8th inning as Pedro Pajes had a single but nothing more against Sam Long, who had come on to pitch. And that sends the game to the 9th inning. New pitcher into the game in the 9th inning for the Cardinals is Giovanni Gallegos, and we're going to head and call this our A. Mrazek move of the game, brought to you by A. Mrazek Moving Systems. A. Mrazek is the official mover of the St. Louis Cardinals. Good work from Gallegos as he was able to put together a 1-2-3 inning. If he can find some version of what he has been throughout much of his career, that would be a big boost to the Cardinals bullpen. So it was good to see that from Gallegos today. So that sends the game to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Cardinals down by 3 runs, 6-3. New pitcher for the Royals is James MacArthur. After Wilson Contreras strikes out, Paul Goldschmidt comes up.
MacArthur with the next pitch. Goldschmidt hits a high drive, deep right field, to the corner, near the pole, and that ball is a home run. A home run for Paul Goldschmidt. Just getting over the wall.
Yeah, it just barely cleared. Home run Goldschmidt, and that gets the Cardinals back within 2 runs at 6-4. After a Brendan Donovan strikeout, Nolan Arenado gets a base hit. He would go to second on defensive indifference, and Lars Nootbaar comes up to the plate representing the tying run.
The pitch. Nootbaar lines that to center field, and it's caught on the run by Hampson. This ball game has come to an end. The Cardinals got a run, 2 hits, and left a man on, and came up short in game 1 of the day-night doubleheader, with Kansas City winning 6-4.
With the win, the Royals go to 50-53. The Cardinals, they drop to 48-43. Winning totals for Kansas City: 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They leave 3. For St. Louis, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They also leave 3. Winning pitcher Marsh, he is 7-6. Palante, the loss, he drops to 4-4. A save for MacArthur. It is his 16th of the year. Home runs for Kansas City: Perez hitting his 15th for the Cardinals, Arenado his 8th, Burleson his 15th, Goldschmidt his 13th. The game lasting 2 hours and 27 minutes, played in front of a crowd of 32,108 folks at Busch Stadium as the Cardinals lose to Kansas City 6-4 in game 1 of a doubleheader. We will take a break, and when we come back, we will hear from Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
Ho, ho, ho! Christmas in July returns to the ballpark on Monday, July 29th. Whether you've been naughty or nice, all fans who purchase this special themed ticket will receive a stadium-exclusive Ugly Cardinals Christmas sweater. Santa Fredbird is coming to town to be at the ballpark too. Get in the holiday spirit and grab your Christmas in July tickets at cardinals.com/theme. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Experience the excitement of Live by Lowe's St. Louis Hotel at Ballpark Village. Stay in laid-back luxury across from Busch Stadium and just a short walk to Enterprise Center. Enjoy plenty of dining options, including Clark and Bourbon, a classic steakhouse that features its very own whiskey room. Gather with friends al fresco at the Bullock, steps above the plaza. Blue skies and gourmet fries are features of the casual chic outdoor terrace. Add handcrafted cocktails and terrific views of Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village, and it's a home run. Sports and entertainment come alive at Live by Lowe's St. Louis.
Whether your project is below ground, above ground, or you're just breaking ground, United Rentals has the equipment and tools you need. They rent and sell everything from forklifts and backhoes to scissor lifts, trench shoring systems, and portable restrooms. They also offer a complete range of industrial tools for any job, small or large. Count on United Rentals for the world's largest rental fleet, backed by a team of equipment experts ready to help you get the job done. For the branch nearest you, visit UnitedRentals.com or call 800-UR-RENTS.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground Solutions. Are you tired of dealing with leaky faucets, basement flooding, bursting or leaking pipes? From plumbing maintenance and repairs to installing new water heaters and sump pumps, our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible. At Lands Plumbing, we have 24/7 emergency service and a team of highly skilled professionals that will work with you to get the job done right the first time. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
You're listening to WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. The Cardinals brought to you by Route 66 Solar, Central Illinois' local trusted solar installation company. For a free estimate, call 217-652-6533.
Cardinals lose to the Royals 6-4, game one of a doubleheader. Game two is set to begin at 6:45. That means coverage across the Cardinals radio network will begin at 5:50. Our player of the game, let's go with Nolan Arenado. He has another multi-hit game today. Hits a home run, going 2 for 4. He has 4 multi-hit games over his last 5 games. Over his last 5 games, he's hitting .455, going 10 for 22 at the plate. But the Cardinals do end up losing this game by a 6-4 score. Andre Pallante, he goes 6 1/3, 4 runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol met with the media just a little while ago, and he opened up talking about Pallante's performance.
He did a nice job. Some guys were having trouble picking up the slider and just kept them kind of in between. It was hard to string anything together against him. Burleson, good swing there, Arenado, but overall, some guys just had a little bit more trouble picking him up. Yeah.
The depth you took Pallante into that game, is that a function of the doubleheader and him pitching into the break too?
Yeah, that's his last start before the break, so you can take him a little further, and with a doubleheader, keeping as many arms in that pen available for this second game was important. But when you look at it, I mean, after the Perez homer, him being able to go back out there and face the lefty, I'm okay with that, and then going to Roycroft after that. So he made them earn it, and they did. A couple pitches he'd probably like back, left that 4-seamer to Melendez over the plate, and then didn't get the sinker exactly where he wanted it against Hampson. But no walks, and they took some decent at-bats against him. Yeah.
How would you describe Andre's first half quality of work in the spot starter role?
Really well. Yeah, I mean, you look at his outings, he's done a nice job of getting us deeper into games. Until that inning where they scored a couple, I mean, that 4-seam sinker mix, he was getting some swing and miss with the breaking ball. I thought he looked really good. They took a couple good swings off of him in one inning, but outside of that, I thought he did his job. Yeah.
I know you said the doubleheader played into it, but that score is still tied, or if you guys have a lead, do you think you're more aggressive with the bullpen with Pallante, or is he maybe showing you enough in his recent starts to give him?
You can be a little bit more aggressive if you know you have a day off and no game tonight. Then you can match up earlier. But he's done enough, and he looked good enough to allow him to keep going. So I can go either way on that one. Yeah.
Burleson has the most RBIs in the league since early June. What do you say about you having him at the 2-hole? Like, you really trust him in that spot, right? That's usually your best hitter in the lineup, hitting the 2-hole.
Yeah, he's shown the ability to really do damage, but also take a very tough at bat. I mean, this guy could take his shot early on and do a little bit of what he did today as far as just leaving the yard, hits its doubles, but is really good with 2 strikes. He uses the whole field, and it's just grinds out every at bat, doesn't give a whole lot away. So he's done a nice job regardless of where you put him in the lineup, but he's been good in that 2-hole. Yeah.
You see Nolan building the way he has over the last week or so, especially carrying this in great. How important is that?
Very important. Yeah, very important. He's feeling better about where he's at. Took some good swings today. It was good to see Goldie leave the yard. It was good to see Nato leave the yard. Those are important at bats as you start building on top of each other. That could be a lot of fun. So yeah.
A lot of games in a short amount of time for this break. How important are these next really few days to get into those?
Yeah, we got to continue to lock in the way we have. We're not going to give in or give anything away until that last game, and then we'll be able to relax, regroup, and get after it. But these guys are, and they're determined. I mean, brought the tying run up to the plate. We gave up 6 runs and still competing. So I feel good about where we're at. The guys are taking good at bats. That was a game where they took some good swings. They just straight up beat us today. We got a second one, so we'll see what that looks like.
That is Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol speaking to the media. When I introed that clip, by the way, I said he was talking about Andre Pallante. In case you were a little confused, that first answer, I beg your pardon, was actually about Royals starter Alec Marsh, who was pretty good today as he went 6 innings for Kansas City, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Cardinals lose game 1 of the doubleheader 6-4. We'll hear from Andre Pallante coming up in just a moment. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Calling all bookworms. Don't miss Book Club Night at Busch Stadium on Tuesday, July 30th, featuring internationally best-selling author Emily Giffin. With the purchase of a special theme ticket, fans will take home an exclusive tote bag, perfect for the library. Plus, you'll receive access to an exclusive pregame book discussion with Emily about her new release, The Summer Pact. For tickets or more details, visit cardinals.com/theme.
This is Brendan Donovan, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
If you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the St. Louis Men's Clinic is your answer. Listen, we specialize in men's sexual health. In 10 years, we've helped over 30,000 men of all ages and medical histories find a solution to their ED. Call the St. Louis Men's Clinic at 314-399-8120 or stlmensclinic.com. And if you don't see results on your first visit, your appointment is absolutely free. Call 314-399-8120 today. The St. Louis Men's Clinic is a preferred partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
So you live in the country or a rural area, but you struggle with internet, right? Well, not anymore. MF Wireless is your premier rural high-speed internet provider. Macomber Farms Wireless is a local internet provider. It started in Camargo. Their focus, providing you reliable, high-speed internet with friendly and fast customer service. Just go to MF, as in Macomber Farms, mfwireless.com. Check for coverage. mfwireless.com.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
The sun is setting on the most substantial solar incentive currently available in Illinois. If you've ever considered converting your home or business to solar, the time to take action is now. You still have time to lock in these significant long-term savings solar offers. Contact Route 66 Solar today before it's too late to take advantage of one of the best solar incentives still available. Call us directly at 217-652-6533 or sign up online for a free estimate at Route66Solar.com. Route 66 Solar, the local installer your neighbors trust.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
You're listening to WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. The Cardinals brought to you by Route 66 Solar, Central Illinois' local trusted solar installation company. For a free estimate, call 217-652-6533.
The Major League Baseball All-Star Game action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 15th, 7 o'clock Central. Then catch the 94th Major League Baseball All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. That'll be July 16th at 6 o'clock Central on Fox. Cardinals lose to the Royals, 6-4 the final. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show across the Cardinals radio network. Andre Palante made the start today for the Cardinals. Didn't pitch poorly, was really on a roll. He did not give up a run in his first 4 innings before giving up 3 runs in the 5th and 1 run in the 6th inning. And he spoke with the media just a little while ago, opened up talking about what went wrong when he was giving up some runs compared to when he was really, really good in this game.
Yeah, just left some pitches over the heart of the plate. Big one that hurt was the one in Melendez. I mean, I think that's my strength. That right there is my strength. And letting that bat get away from me with a poor executed fastball over the plate. That one definitely was the biggest mistake of the day. But, yeah, just, felt like I competed in the zone pretty well early and had some good ball and play luck. Kind of the balls kind of, they weren't well hit, but they were at guys. And then the 5th inning came around, and that's when a couple unlucky hits, then a couple well hit balls caught me.
Under your first half is taking you a lot of different places, but as you solidify yourself in this starting pitching role, how would you describe your performance? What do you think has been a strength of yours?
Yeah, I mean, I think my normal strength has been getting lefties out. I think that's kind of been my MO now for a couple years, and I feel like I've done a really good job of that. From outing to outing, I felt like I've been handling them very well and making strides in the right direction on the righties. I think pitching them inside pretty well and, mixing in my breaking balls and both my fastballs have been, for strikes, for chase, and then also reading the game. Felt like I had a couple at-bats today where I just read the hitter really well and was able to, pitch in those circumstances pretty well.
Obviously, the doubleheader is part of it, the schedule is part of it, right? But for them to have the trust to let you face Wynn a third time, face Perez a third time, are those at-bats important, being able to compete in those and also to be trusted to compete in those as you kind of go through this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, earlier when I first got called up, they had the outing against the Cubs who were, pulled pretty early to, try and preserve the game, and, having it change now to going out there for the 7th, that's, I'm grateful for the opportunity to go back out there and, pitch as much as I can. Would like to, go out there and get everyone out every single time. But, sometimes it's not going to go your way. But I felt like I competed in all those at-bats. I don't think I walked anyone today. No. So, I mean, that's a stride in the right direction for me. That's been kind of one of my biggest problems has been walking righties. And so going out there against 7 righties and not walking a single one, making them hit the ball off me is, a step in the right direction.
That's Cardinals starting pitcher Andre Palante speaking to the media just a few moments ago. Scheduled tonight across the NL Central, Pirates and Brewers continue their series in Milwaukee after Pittsburgh won yesterday. Pitching matchup, Martin Perez will go for the Buccos. The lefties 1-4 with a 4.85 ERA. The Brewers will send right-hander Tobias Myers. He's 5-3 with a 3.52 ERA. The Reds are at home tonight as they match up against the Rockies. Frankie Montas will start tonight for Cincinnati. The right-hander enters 4-6 with a 4.19 ERA. And then the Cubs this evening, they are in Baltimore to take on the Orioles. On the mound for the Cubs, it'll be Shoto Imanaga, 7-2 with a 3.16 ERA. They've got a good challenge in front of them as Corbin Burns will start for the Orioles. He's having another good season with a 9-3 record and a 2.32 ERA. Across the Cardinals minor league system, AAA Memphis, they are going to match up against Norfolk tonight in Memphis as Michael McGreevy is on the mound, 4-7, 4.79 ERA. AA Springfield, they host Wichita tonight. Alex Alex Cornwell will start for Springfield. He's 4-2 with a 6.50 ERA. Peoria plays at Quad Cities at High A and then at Low A. The Palm Beach Cardinals are playing a doubleheader today against Clearwater. Game 1 is in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Palm Beach has a 2-0 lead. Of course, we've got another Cardinals-Royals game coming your way this evening. Gordon Graceffo is going to make his first career Major League start. His only Major League appearance came out of the bullpen, has a 2.08 ERA from that, and the former Cardinal Michael Wacha is going to start for the Royals. We'll get more into that coming up in just a moment as we'll wrap up things here after this. This is the Mercy Cardinals postgame show on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Graybar.
Looking for the best 2.5 hours that money can buy? Look no further. The official St. Louis Cardinals pregame party is before every home game at Cardinals Nation Restaurant and Bar. This all-inclusive DJ-hosted party is the perfect way to start your game day experience. Join the fun just steps away from Busch Stadium. Cardinals Nation Restaurant is changing the way St. Louis pregames. Purchase tickets now at cardinalsnation.com/pregame.
Mason Wynn here, Cardinals shortstop and proud partner of Community America Credit Union. I've been in it to win it since day one, which is why I chose Community America. Community America is built to help more people achieve financial peace of mind with exclusive benefits like sharing a portion of our annual profits. Community America can help you reach your financial goals, big and small. Join Missouri's largest credit union, now expanding in St. Louis. Visit CommunityAmerica.com to become a member today.
Dixie Chopper and Dedicated Diesel lawn mowing business is up and running. Do I got any deals going?
Oh, yeah. We're going to carry through the $1,000 off any Z2 residential mower. Go talk to Andy. If you have a comparative price on a mower that would compare to a Dixie Chopper, which I don't think you'll find one in a big box store, but we're going to make it right and get as close as we can with the quality that you're getting.
Can't imagine the ones I see sitting out at big box stores. They're sitting out in the rain, man. What the heck?
Well, yeah, they're sitting out in the rain, but they're not made as well. You're going to have frame problems. You're not going to have where you're going to take it to get a fork fixed if it busted. You can get a hold of Dedicated Diesel on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment. You can call Andy at 217-328-0562. Visit him at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. Connect with me on email at temo@gftlog.com. We'll get you set up one way or the other.
Welcome to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Hi, I'm looking for a refrigerator.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Oh, yeah, well, I just need a refrigerator. Don't need the whole store.
But you get it, the whole store.
My kitchen is only about this big.
You get me.
Hello.
All those delivery, installation, and service technicians in back.
Wow, all those people?
The Dick Van Dyke 5-10-year protection plan, which means in the unlikely event something goes wrong in the first 5 years, your repair cost is nothing.
Nothing?
10 years parts coverage on the major components.
Looks like I'm getting more than a refrigerator today. How much does this whole store cost?
Nothing. Come on. For real. We guarantee to beat any competitor's deal, all that other stuff we talked about, like our service tax.
And your 5-10-year protection plan?
All included.
I'm Dennis Freakin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And when we say you get the whole store, we mean the whole store. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
You're listening to WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. The Cardinals brought to you by Route 66 Solar, Central Illinois' local trusted solar installation company. For a free estimate, call 217-652-6533.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Thank you for choosing 2 Men in a Truck. How may I help you?
We're moving, and I have a strange situation. Some of my furniture is going to the new house, and then I have some going to my brother's garage, and a sofa that needs to go to storage. Is that something you do?
That's not strange at all. We can time out for multiple stops. 2 Men in a Truck has completed over 10 million moves, so we have a solution for that.
Not sure how your move is going to work? Go to 2meninatruck.com for your free estimate.
Basketball and the Clippers making that call on Leonard. He missed 12 of LA's final 14 games this past NBA season with right knee inflammation. Celtics guard Derek White replaces Leonard on the roster. The United States plays the first of 5 exhibition games against Canada tonight. ESPN NBA reporter Ramona Shelburne.
This is probably the most talented international team the U.S. has had since the Dream Team in '92, and maybe even more talented than that team. So this is throwing talent at the problem, but let's see if talent is enough, because Canada is a team that knows how to play together. They know the FIBA style. They've been with each other. They have chemistry. This Team USA, they've been together for a couple of days.
Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins told reporters star John Morant's been cleared for full contact work 6 months after undergoing surgery on his injured shoulder. Former NBA player Jontay Porter pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud in a federal criminal case tied to the betting scandal that got him banned from the league earlier this year.
Here's one stat that's super simple to remember. Discover automatically doubles the cash back on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. With Discover, you could turn $150 cash back to $300. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN and the HD studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Freddie and Harry.
Let's step aside for one moment. Give the floor to Unique from New Jersey. Unique, floor is yours.
Okay. This is not the professor. Where is that professor? Where's he at? What's happening, brother? How you?
We're doing good, Coach. We're doing good, man. How are you? What we got?
Coach. Oh, okay. Man, where's he at?
Well, he's off this week. He had to take care of some family business. He'll be back next week. But I got a co-pilot this week. It's Ian Fitzsimmons. So he used to be Freddie's running mate before I was. They used to do a show together.
8 years with Freddie.
Oh, okay. So you got a little something then. Okay. How you doing, Mr. What's your name?
This is Freddie and Harry.
No Freddie, no Harry, but you've got Courtney Cronin and Gabe Neitzel with you here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Freddie and Harry, as always, presented by Progressive Insurance. You can join in the conversation at any point on the Freddie and Harry call-in line, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. You can also hit us up on Twitter, X, whatever you're calling it these days, at GNeitzel16 is Gabe's handle, at Courtney R. Cronin is mine. We turn our attention in the slow time of the sports calendar to Team USA basketball. Big news out of Vegas today. Los Angeles Clippers, Kawhi Leonard withdrawing from Team USA ahead of the 2024 Paris Olympics. Later on tonight, Team USA is going to be playing Team Canada in a scrimmage. No Kevin Durant, no Kawhi Leonard indefinitely for Team USA. So, Gabe, when I hear this news come out of Vegas, I'm not shocked by any stretch, but I am wondering, with all of the injuries that Kawhi Leonard has dealt with throughout his career, but specifically this year alone, which we know was the knee injury during the playoffs, there was the groin injury before that, this coming in a season where he played 68 games, the most games he's played in a season since he was with the Spurs in 2016-17, I'm kind of wondering now, why did he decide he wanted to play for Team USA anyways, knowing that these injuries were still an issue?
Yeah, I can understand wanting to represent your country. I can understand wanting to be on this team because it is the best of the best, especially in a year where LeBron and Steph and KD and all these guys are getting together to make this run in Paris. I understand wanting to be a part of that, but I would have to think that Kawhi knew throughout this process, this was a strong possibility that he just wasn't going to be able to go. I mean, he missed 12 of the last 14 games this past season for the Clippers with this knee injury. And again, I'm guessing he knows that it's still kind of been an issue, despite them saying, well, it really wasn't an issue, but it might be an issue. So I think it's just best for all parties that Kawhi rests up, gets ready for the regular season for the NBA, which starts in October. That's the surprising thing to me. I understand wanting to be on that team. I guess, being almost 2 weeks away from the Olympics and opening ceremonies, this seems kind of late in the process to be doing this because you've been going through these practices, scrimmaging against the select team, and now introducing a new piece to the puzzle for Team USA is a little more difficult.
And that piece is Derek White from the Boston Celtics. A little bit of a surprise there, considering that Jaylen Brown's name did not find his way to being called today as the replacement for Kawhi Leonard. But the statement from USA Basketball reads, quote, Leonard felt ready to compete. However, he respects that USA Basketball and the Clippers determined it is in his best interest to spend the remainder of the summer preparing for the upcoming season rather than participating in the Olympic Games in Paris. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought the whole thing about the Olympics was that teams can't tell you, play for this country over this country, which, again, like Joel Embiid is on this team, Team USA, he's from Cameroon. He has dual citizenship. He could choose where he wanted to play. So no team is allowed to tell you where to play. I also thought they kind of had to have a hands-off role in determining whether you play through injury. I thought that was more onto the players' decision themselves, because I think back to 2016 when Team USA was getting ready to go to Rio ahead of the Olympics, and I was covering Team USA's practices because I covered the Golden State Warriors at the time, and Kevin Durant was joining Team USA, and it was our first chance to see him. Noticeably absent was Stephen Curry because of the knee injury he had sustained early on in the playoffs, and it was his decision, not the Warriors telling him to sit out. Like, to me, this is a little weird that the Clippers are getting involved here. I wonder if it's their way of interjecting, hey, let's get some return on investment from the big deal that we gave you in December, the extension, so you don't end up putting yourself behind the 8 ball when the season starts.
Yeah, and teams aren't supposed to talk to other players under contract, Courtney. But you know what? Somehow, when midnight breaks, these NBA players have a tendency to sign contracts almost immediately, right? Like this is just kind of how it goes. If the team is paying this much money, of course they're going to have some sort of say, even if per the CBA, they're supposed to be a little more hands-off. Here in Milwaukee, Giannis is going through a knee injury. One of the Bucks assistant coaches was over in Greece, just kind of keeping an eye on the situation as they were going through their qualifying tournament, which wrapped up last week. So these teams are always going to have a say, especially as the money continues to get higher and higher and higher, and especially for the Clippers. They're probably even more invested in trying to get Kawhi Leonard to be healthy after losing Paul George in free agency. So they want to make sure that their one meal ticket is able to stay healthy and going to be ready for them, especially early in the regular season as they're getting ready to launch a new arena and kind of a new era of Clippers basketball. I'm surprised, again, that he went through these practices and tried to give it a go just because, man, maybe 8 practices? You probably knew when you showed up it was a long shot that you were going to actually finish this
because
out.
The injuries have been so tough on him throughout his career. There's a reason he hasn't been on Team USA previously, because these injuries, since the time he played 9 games for the Spurs, 2017-18 season, due to, I believe that was the groin injury he sustained during that year. Rather, that was he's had a lot of issues, whether it's the quad, whether it's the ankle, whether it ends up being the left knee, the right knee, the ACL, whatever it is. And I want to play something from Freddie Coleman, who's normally you're hearing here weekdays 3 to 7 on ESPN Radio. He was hosting Greeny this morning, and he brought this up, wondering whether these injuries, the routine benching that Kawhi Leonard's body is doing to himself, is ending up having an effect on his psyche.
I don't question his heart to play basketball because I know he wants to be out there. He enjoys the game. He's eye candy for me because he can do it at both ends of the floor. He can make big shots. He can shut down opposing players. But I wonder how much of those injuries, I wonder how much of that has affected his psyche in terms of, man, will I ever be able to be the kind of player that I was at times with San Antonio that year with the Toronto Raptors leading them to the only NBA championship? I wonder how much of that is weighing on the mind of Kawhi Leonard thinking I may never, ever get back to that level. And I'm getting paid a lot of money and also have a lot of pressure on me to finally get out of this vast wasteland that has been Clippers basketball.
Well, we know if it is weighing on Kawhi Leonard, he's not going to wear it on his sleeve because he's very good at just kind of keeping a very consistent approach, mindset, the face that he wears every single day. But
he's a fun guy.
They didn't have the clip ready for that quick enough, so I had to improvise there with Kawhi Leonard.
Wait, what was that? What was that, Courtney? I didn't hear you.
That was Kawhi. Who was the one who asked him
that?
Introductory press conference.
I'm
going to do it again. I'm trying to preface this in case people forgot. That was part of his press conference. I believe when he was introduced to the Clippers, when he said that, he said, "I'm a funny guy." And his laugh is, that memory seared into my brain for obvious reasons.
The most forced laugh of all time.
I'm sorry. I had my earphones were unplugged. Can you do that one more time for me, Courtney?
No, you've lost the moment. Just like there we go. Devin, thank you for coming.
You knew it was in the system somewhere.
Course. Absolutely. I think Freddie's onto something here, though, because Kawhi Leonard had a big three that was supposed to be able to get past some of the other teams in the Western Conference last year. And what we know about the Los Angeles Clippers is that an injury to him in the postseason ended up, stunting their path against the Dallas Mavericks in the first round. I don't know if Kawhi Leonard from 2019 is available anymore, to be honest with you, because the onslaught of injuries hasn't stopped. It hasn't been like, okay, there's a knee issue, and then there's a year where he's healthy, and we can put this all beyond us. His age to where he's at now in his 30s, and thinking about if you just look at his injury log, rest, knee, low back, mouth, health and safety protocols, leg, back, this is an injury report where if I'm looking at the outline of a body, you're just circling the entire thing. I worry about his durability, and knowing now that Paul George is not his running mate any longer, which Kawhi Leonard spoke about at Team USA, saying that he knew he was gone, which is kind of an indictment, and I think we all knew that Paul George was gone. But can this version of Kawhi Leonard with the Los Angeles Clippers get this team out of play-in territory? You and I ranked the 4 teams in California earlier, and I think we both had the Clippers around 3. I don't know that this team is any better, and I don't know that Kawhi Leonard is going to be able to, just with the state of things himself right now, and the non-guarantee of a season that's more than 68 games, which he played this past year. I feel like this might have reached its ceiling, and I don't know how much more he can push his body to get there.
It kind of seemed like this last year was going to be the year because he did, like you said, he did play 68 games, and you were getting toward the end of the regular season going, ooh, this Clippers team, they've kind of figured this out. They
suckered me in, I'll say that. I went on around the horn the day that they ended up giving him that extension, which came in December, which I know they didn't have to wait. It felt a little early, a little premature. He was only, he'd played 35 games at that point. I thought they were going to try to keep the core together. I really did. I thought that was a foreshadowing point for Paul George, for James Harden, and we know they end up re-signing James Harden in free agency, but they fooled me. They really did fool me. I thought this would have been the year for them.
Well, and they were sitting there at the 4 seed. It wasn't at the beginning of the NBA playoffs. It seemed like, if they get past the Mavericks, then they're playing OKC, OKC young. They probably get upset, and you could pencil them into a Western Conference Finals pretty easily. And then it all fell apart just as quickly as I dreamed up that scenario, and then it all fell apart for the Clippers. I just don't think that. This iteration of the Clippers, I don't think that Kawhi's going to be able to stay healthy enough, because that's what derailed them once again. And I think Paul George just decided he was going to give it a try someplace else, because for whatever reason they couldn't get it to work where everybody could stay healthy at the same time with the Clippers.
It's Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Protect the stuff you love with renters insurance by visiting Progressive.com.
The countdown rolls on.
He's got it! Touchdown!
57 days until the NFL season kicks off.
I need everything you got! Play me the job beside you!
Can't to camp, team to team.
The whole world watching. What are we going to do, man?
The countdown rolls on right here on ESPN Radio.
9 days away for me from the start of training camp. Chicago Bears open up on July 19th with their first availability. First practice is July 20th. Hall of Fame game coming up after that. Not ready for it, but reminder, these are not Jeremy Fowler's rankings. These are the rankings compiled when he's talking to execs, coaches, and scouts around the league. Number 1, Myles Garrett, no-brainer, defensive player of the year. Highest ranking according to Jeremy sourcing was 1. Lowest ranking was 3. TJ Watt, all the sacks that he has with the Pittsburgh Steelers speaks for itself in the year for him coming back from injury. Highest ranking for him was 1. Lowest ranking was 5 at number 2. Number 3 seemed to grind the gears of one Micah Parsons, where he finds himself on this list. He was ranked as high as 1, as low as 7, and he did not take so kindly to that. On Twitter earlier today, quote, "There's no way it was 167 double teams," referring to one of the pieces of, I guess you'd call it, like support for why he was ranked at 3rd. Paraphrasing here, "You jokers can't mess with me. It's up this year on Mama's 2 weeks." So 2 weeks till the Dallas Cowboys report to training camp in Oxnard, California. Like, are you okay with him being at number 3? Do you think he should have been above TJ Watt and Myles Garrett?
3 seems about right to me. Like, Myles Garrett was always going to be number 1 on this list for me, maybe because it's just one play. But it's seared in my mind, Courtney. Like, I'm never going to forget in the game last year where Myles Garrett went from one side of the line of scrimmage to the other, and the team they were playing was following a blocker with him. Usually the offense is the one using motion to dictate what you do defensively. That's how good Myles Garrett is. He moves around and everyone's going, we got to get an extra blocker over there. TJ Watt, like, it makes sense that he is where he is. 19 sacks last year, defensive player of the year, all these different things that so being number 3 in a league that is stacked, because Nick Bosa's really good too, by the way. He's 4, Max Crosby 5. Like, somebody's got to be 3. And it makes sense that the two guys that, if you're number 3 on this list, if you're in the top 5 of this list, like, there's a chance you're going to be in the conversation for defensive player of the year this year. And I don't know if it's like a prerequisite to being drafted or playing for the Cowboys, but they all just seemingly have a penchant for like, they find a way to insert themselves and up the drama level no matter what's going on. This seems to be a pretty innocent list. Hey, it's a list. We've got a few days before training camp, and Micah Parsons taking issue with being number 3 on that list, at least publicly having beef with it, is really intriguing. It's really interesting.
But it's par for the course for him. This is somebody who, I remember when Myles Garrett was named Defensive Player of the Year this past year, 42 tackles, 14 sacks, 37 pressures, 16 quarterback hits. Like, the resume spoke for itself. And there was someone on Twitter who thought that this was a sham job, that it should have been somebody else, that he, should have got the award, or he got the award because he had not won it before, TJ Watt. I'm assuming this person was like irritated that TJ Watt didn't get it. And Micah took to Twitter to defend what Myles Garrett had done. He said Myles was a better player, reality of the situation. He faced more double teams and affected the QBs. Fans, please stop looking at stats and look at film, please. So he clearly has no issue dabbling in the discourse. I question the whole 500 double teams thing. Is he keeping his own stats here? Because the ones that we have at ESPN analytics say that he was double teamed. He faced 167 double teams. Seems like there's a minor discrepancy there, but for a guy who has his own podcast, for a guy who has, constantly talked about the Defensive Player of the Year award, I'm not surprised he's talking about these rankings. I think 3 is, look at the company he's in. Outside of this top 5 list, Nick Bosa, where he's at right now at 4, Max Crosby, this is a good spot to be in. This is splitting hairs. This is as hard as my wide receiver list if I were to put this thing together.
Well, again, if you take a look at the list, the highest he was ranked by one of the coaches, execs, or scouts was number 1. So clearly there are some people who believe he is the best edge rusher in the NFL. Now, obviously, Micah thinks he's the best edge rusher in the NFL, which he should. This is the type of mentality you need to be an upper echelon athlete, to be as elite as Micah Parsons is. I guess as much noise has been around the Dallas Cowboys this offseason, whether it's been the contracts for Micah, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, whether it's Micah Parsons being criticized by a teammate for having a podcast on a podcast. Maybe you could have sat this one out, Micah. We've got a couple of weeks before camp. Just give your team a little bit of a break where you don't have to answer any questions about any pending drama. If you want to have some fun with it when camp opens, going, I'm going to show everybody I was number 3 on this list. I'm going to be number 1 next year, and do it in a fun, lighthearted way. Sure, go ahead, do that. Use it as motivation. Do whatever you need to. You just don't need, think before you tweet. You don't need to tweet every thought that you have.
And there is a case to be made. 3 is a good spot to be on this list. I don't know who put him all the way at 7. That person, I will say, is a hater. That one's a little surprising. But as you mentioned, he was ranked as high as 1 for, good reasons. 13 sacks in each of his first 3 seasons. The only other player to stake claim to that, Reggie White, a Hall of Famer. And, of course, the 14 sacks, despite being double-teamed 167 times, which he claims 500 times. Maybe you have to, check the analytics there. But that's the most among edge rushers. This is somebody who moved from an off-ball linebacker position into being a pure edge rusher. I'm very curious to see how Mike Zimmer, new defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, wants to deploy Micah Parsons this year. Maybe he will earn Defensive Player of the Year with a role that could be different. Maybe it's similar, maybe it's different, who knows, from the one that Dan Quinn had him in. But I think being in this sort of company puts him in a very good place. We're splitting hairs here, but again, it's July, and it's list season. I don't know what the list is going to be tomorrow, but I am sure there will be some player from some position group who is on a top 5 list who is not happy about his situation. Speaking of a player who might not be happy with his situation, there is a quarterback down in Dallas who has yet to be paid. Will he still be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback after this season? We discuss next here, Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio.
Once again, it's all-star time. Baseball's greatest show.
Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Shohei Ohtani.
All schemes, strike 3 called at 100. The 2024 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday at 7 Eastern with first pitch at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Matt Rogowitz is our law enforcement official of the month. He is currently the University of Illinois Police Department Officer of the Year. Why did you want to go into this work?
The reason why I wanted to go into policing was probably due to my family. Father's in the military. My uncle is a police officer in Louisiana. So it's always been a big part of my life, being a first responder within my family members.
Okay, and you're physically fit, and that's a big part of your regime. Do you try to stay in great shape? Does that really help from the standpoint, not only just physically that you're kind of imposing looking, but mentally?
It helps physically and mentally. Yeah. It plays a big role at work, and I like to share my experiences with my coworkers as well. So I think that helps mentally as a team. So working out, helping them work out as well.
And so when you are on a call, does the adrenaline start going, or depends on the situation? How's that work?
It does depend on the situation. Your adrenaline does get going. It just depends what call you're going to, but always trying to remain calm is your key component there, and then just responding and then providing that support to everybody that you're able to.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. What would have been Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard's first Olympic trip is over. He won't be playing for Team USA in Paris. USA Basketball and the Clippers made that decision. Leonard missed 12 of LA's final 14 games this past NBA season with right knee inflammation. Replacing him on the roster, Celtics guard Derek White. A solid addition for the U.S., notes ESPN NBA reporter Tim Bontemps.
As we saw during the playoffs and throughout this season with Boston, Derek White, one of the best two-way guards
in the NBA. He and Jrue Holiday both on the all-defensive team this year, and he will slot right into this group as an elite player on the defensive end, guy who can space the floor and play off the ball and hit threes. Really should fit in seamlessly with this group.
Former NBA player Jontay Porter pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud in a federal criminal case tied to the betting scandal that got him banned from the league earlier this year. He will be sentenced December 18th. Chicago rookie Angel Reese extended a WNBA record 14th straight double-double in today's 78-69 victory over Atlanta. England beat the Netherlands 2-1 and will play Spain in the Euro 2024 final on Sunday.
Here's one stat that's super simple to remember. Discover automatically doubles the cash back on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. With Discover, you could turn $150 cash back to $300. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. We know you love drama.
All in. We're all in.
There's only one franchise that does drama better than anyone else.
Let's do it the right way. It's exciting. You excite me.
So, what in the world is going on with the Dallas Cowboys today?
The Cowboys is still nothing. Dak Prescott has not received a new contract. CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, Micah Parsons. At some point, they're going to have to pay one of these guys, you'd think. But as we stand here, July 10th, Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, Courtney Cronin, Gabe Neitzel filling in for the guys. Not much or much ado about nothing right now. Or maybe it's something with the Dallas Cowboys. Let's bring in Jeff Darlington, ESPN NFL reporter. And I want to ask you about Dak's comments yesterday. So he said that the walking boot on his previously surgically repaired ankle was nothing more than precautionary, that he's getting older in age and that he felt he had to do this while he was on vacation. He was going fishing, all of that. But he's still without a contract. And Gabe and I were having this conversation earlier in the show, Jeff, about whether the Cowboys would actually let him hit free agency. How do you see it?
So, I mean, I personally think that they are willing at this point to see him play in the final year of his deal. He and Mike McCarthy both. I mean, if they can get to a number before camp, sure. And even through camp, if they can find a way to reach a deal, it just, to me, does not feel like we're headed with much momentum in that direction. I mean, at some point, you got to think that both sides look at this and say, if you're the Cowboys, you're like, well, we have to pay him top of market right now anyway. We'll probably have to pay him the exact same amount after this season. It's not like, you know, outside of Jordan Love, any other quarterbacks are potentially going to exceed Dak's contract at this point. So I could see the potential benefit at this point of doing that. I would just say on the other side of the coin, they probably should have done this much earlier in the offseason before these prices once again skyrocketed in the quarterback market.
So when you take a look at the other free agents that the Cowboys have, are they trying to do Dak first so then they know how much of the cap they have left because this could be such a big deal?
I don't think – I mean, there was one point in this offseason at the start of free agency where that would have made the most sense because he has such a big cap number this coming season. But at this point, from my understanding, based on my conversation, CeeDee Lamb is now the team's priority in terms of, like, doing a deal before the start of the season. That doesn't mean that he's more important than Dak, but it just means that at this point they feel that that's the most likely deal to get done. I would also say, though, at this point, again, I don't think when it comes to CeeDee, you're kind of doing one of those deals that extends the cash out deep into the deal. So I don't necessarily know that Dak's deal is a necessity or a requirement or a prerequisite, I should say, to CeeDee's deal.
Jeff Darlington, ESPN NFL reporter, joining us here on Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio. Why did the Cowboys operate this way? And I know that that's like a very loaded question, but as we sit here, a team, yeah, why are you the way that you are is the real question I'd like to ask you, Jeff, because it's the team that claims to be all in this season, yet wouldn't you like to alleviate some of these self-inflicted distractions like not paying your players and leaving this thing up till potentially the eve of training camp?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you, and I don't have an answer to your question, unfortunately. But I understand to a degree where after this season, Dak might look at the landscape and say, I'm still best off with Dallas. I mean, there's so many opportunities with the Dallas Cowboys, and they might ultimately still be the team to pay him the most money. So maybe they go off of that. Maybe they go off the fact that we are the Dallas Cowboys. I just, to your point, I think that sometimes they wind up costing themselves more money by waiting it out as opposed to just setting the market themselves early on. But that takes a certain Jerry Jones just loves the negotiation. And I think if you do it too early, you kind of remove the negotiation. And it seems like that's the thing that he thrives on the most. I just don't think that he, in the end, is getting the best deal as a result.
So where did they mess up on the Dak thing? Was it giving him the no franchise tag clause in the contract, which gives him all this leverage where they can't fall back on that? Should they have given him a contract before free agency, just thrown $56 million per year at him, and he would have been happy with that being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Where were the missteps here that have led us to the point where it doesn't look like a deal's going to get done before the season?
I would say I'd say the biggest misstep in my opinion is having such a big cap number going into a season when you knew that this was going to be a question, because that is what created the leverage for Dak earlier in this offseason, when it was basically like, if you guys want to free up cap space for free agency, you've got to extend me out and you've got to pay me. And he held the leverage as a result. He basically held the key to unlock that cap space. And the Cowboys, oddly, in my opinion, sort of, I guess you could say, called his bluff and said, we're just not going to spend much in free agency, and we're not going to pay you now. To me, that would have been the biggest misstep. If you're Jerry Jones and you want to win a Super Bowl, pay Dak, unlock the cap space, and move forward from there. Personally, I think that Dak, I guess it's just a matter of evaluation, too. I think that Dak can win a championship. I know a lot of people disagree with that. I don't know that Mike McCarthy will be the head coach when he does that, but they've got another chance at it this year.
Let's switch gears to the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow making some waves this week for things he said on a podcast about the potential 18-game schedule that we know is in the works and coming down the pipeline for the NFL. And I know there's some former players who have been very vocal that this is not the right approach. And Burrow said it was, he would propose 2 bye weeks, a Pro Bowl in Week 13. Not a lot of insight into how players would, effectively be making the same amount, except it's over 18 games instead of 17 games. What are you hearing as far as the reaction to anything Joe Burrow said, but also how players feel about the inevitability and what they may or may not be getting out of an 18-game schedule?
Yeah, so I don't know much about the reaction to his comments, but I will say that, the conversations I've had with players generally start with, when you talk about that 18-game schedule, 2 bye weeks. And there's really I don't sense much budging on that. Like, I just don't think that any player is really interested, especially when you're adding more international games each year, when you're adding Thursday night football. The wear and tear on the body in a 17-game season is already taking its toll. I think there's plenty of players who could make a case that you should just add another bye week as it is. You have the Super Bowl on President's Day, and everybody's happy. But obviously, money drives all of that, and owners are not going to give that up without getting another game, which is another influx in capital.
I've been trying to figure out what the players are going to want in exchange for that. And to Courtney's point, you hear them talk about player safety in terms of they want grass fields all across. And it just seems all these things that players are constantly bringing up just doesn't equal what would be the value of an 18th game. What do you think is going to be their big ask in return?
Money. Just a bigger piece of the pie, that ultimately, there will be players that say, well, an 18-game season is another game check and an increase in salary. So, from that alone, that might be enough for some players. But just making sure that they get the appropriate piece of the pie whenever that time comes at the end of this next CBA, which we still have several years left. But that, to me, would be the driving force in an added game to a season.
ESPN NFL reporter Jeff Darlington with us here on Freddie and Harry. So the Receiver Show comes out tonight on Netflix. I know that some of the Vikings beat reporters have already seen it and put out their thoughts on it, but it'll feature everybody from George Kittle to Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel. It should be really good considering what we got from the quarterback show. But I wanted to ask you about Hard Knocks. I mean, this Giants in-season version of Hard Knocks that we have – first time ever. Like last week, you get a very honest conversation from Joe Schoen about the Saquon Barkley negotiations that never happened, and it very clearly feels like no love lost from either side. And then last night, we're taken into the combine in the meeting rooms, whether it was Brian Daboll asking Caleb Williams if he had one pass play, which one he would choose in a game, and it ends up being something that he ran with the New York Jets when Brett Favre was his quarterback. And it just, the level of detail here, I think from the in-season one is super insightful. Like, what has stood out to you from watching the Giants go through this process and maybe learning something that you didn't know about their front office already?
Yeah, I mean, not just insightful, but at times uncomfortable. I think I know Joe Schoen pretty well, the general manager, and he's a wildly likable human and like a really good dude. And I think that it's almost uncomfortable watching him have those conversations with Saquon because that's the hardest part of the job. Like, he's essentially breaking up with somebody, and we're watching it. And I mean, it's almost like, especially like knowing these people, it's almost like, I think it's great. I'm not trying to say that I don't want to watch, but there's a little part of me that's kind of like I don't really want to watch this. It feels very intimate and very kind of difficult to watch when you just consider the relationships and the impact and kind of all that it means. I mean, it's great TV. It's just, it gets a little cringy at times.
Yeah, it's definitely jarring because typically Hard Knocks is so sanitized that you don't have a chance to see these real sorts of moments, which maybe the Giants, considering they have editorial control over this, maybe they wanted to shake it up.
That's the crazy part is that, these teams do have a great amount of editorial control, and they're letting those moments ride. But, I guess the fact of Saquon is that they believe in the decision that they made in terms of the money that they were willing to pay. Joe Schoen did an excellent job under Brandon Beane in Buffalo constructing a roster. And, the proof will be in the pudding. That's something that will take years to play out. But right now, it's just very uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, a very cool look inside the inner workings of an NFL front office. We'll see if the Bears are as willing to be as open, considering it was a struggle to get them on Hard Knocks.
Maybe it's a little bit different, but we'll see.
Yeah, that one coming up in a matter of a couple weeks. Jeff, we appreciate it. Thanks so much for jumping on with us.
Of course. Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
That's Jeff Darlington, ESPN NFL reporter, joining us here on Freddie and Harry. Are you a Hard Knocks guy, Gabe? I usually, and I mean, it's going to change my world because the Bears are on it this year. I usually watch the first episode and then I get bored. I don't have that same luxury when the team that I cover and you got to watch every single minute to see if there's something that you missed. But I really like this version of the in-season Hard Knocks, or rather, it's an off-season version, but it's, the in-season one, I think the Colts had it, boring. The Cardinals had it, outside the Jonathan Gannon fake forced speech, which is just weird, boring. This one is giving us legitimate content, and I really hope that other teams will follow suit. I don't feel like that's a likely guarantee considering how paranoid everybody is in the NFL, but I am really impressed with their level of detail.
Oh, no. Forget all of that, Courtney. Forget all that. The Bears on Hard Knocks this year. We getting Courtney on Hard Knocks? We getting cameos on Hard Knocks?
See, everybody asked me that.
Are we getting hair and makeup before the filming? What we doing here?
But, everybody asked me, are we going to see you on Hard Knocks? No. You think the cameras are going to be pointed towards the sideline where the media is watching practice? The camera's going to be on Caleb Williams and his every move and following him from the facility to home and back. I don't know why people think you're going to see me on Hard Knocks.
Hold
You're
on.
not.
What if a rogue pass,
hits me in the face? Yeah, of course. Great content. I'm all for the content. But I think the way that I would get on Hard Knocks, if I had to guess, would be asking some sort of question that would incite somebody to give a response in a press conference setting, because the Bears don't do they do podium only availability. There's no open locker room. So
All right, I got a suggestion. For
I don't
you.
want to risk my career to do
All
that.
right, I got a suggestion. We should absolutely.
Where's your suggestion?
Absolutely lean into that. I think you guys on Best Week Ever should take suggestions of questions that you should ask, and that you have to ask it, and hopefully it'll pop up on Hard Knocks. Absolutely.
Okay, that's actually not a terrible idea, but it has to be a legitimate question. It cannot be something that's dumb, like what's your favorite color, or me asking a player something is inevitably going to.
All right, Caleb.
You already have the question?
I already got it.
I don't have the question.
Got it already.
Shannon said he's got it.
All right, Caleb. Jordan or LeBron? Go.
Got another one? I asked for a good question.
I was about to say, the look on Courtney's face lets you know that that's not a very good question.
No, it's a dumb question. Although somebody asked, I think it was Jalen Johnson, Mavs or Celtics, and, that was it's a question I will not be asking on Hard Knocks. This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Our ranking series continues. Top 5 highlights of my international vacation. I know you're all dying to know. Coming up next, ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. If you missed anything from the show, make sure you check out the Unsportsmanlike podcast on the ESPN app and wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to tune in every day at 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Summer's just getting started, so fill your cooler with the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. And with a 5% kick of alcohol, Twisted Tea is perfect for the beach, the lake, or wherever you're hanging out and day drinking with your friends. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Lowe's knows owning a project means owning the right tools. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of the V20 string trimmer or leaf blower for only $99. Find these savings and more today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/10 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
The 25th annual Region I Golf Outing to support our area's Special Olympians will be hosted by the University of Illinois Orange Golf Course Friday, August 2nd. Registration and lunch starts at 11 with the shotgun start at noon. Appetizers and prizes are between 4 and 6. Support this great event with Rosati's, Dick's House of Sport, Apex Clean Energy, and Roadshow Catering. There's cash awards for the teams and gift certificates for individuals. It's $100 per golfer and $400 per team.
Create a team today and get started. Your efforts will support local Special Olympics Illinois athletes, giving them access to life-changing programming all year long, like competitive sports and training, health education, as well as personal and leadership development.
Support Special Olympians in Region I. This golf outing is coming to the Orange Course at the University of Illinois Friday, August 2nd. Visit soill.org for details.
Here's a look at local news. Urbana police investigating after 12 cars, all parked in the same garage, broken into over the weekend. They say the cars were parked in the garage of an apartment building in the area of Main and McCullough Streets. The door to the garage left unsecured July 6, and at some point the suspect got inside and started breaking car windows. An injured man rescued from inside a grain bin at the Premier Cooperative in Royal. Ogden and Royal Fire called out yesterday. They made the call for more resources, which brought in Urbana Fire Department's TAC rescue team to the location at 101 North Railroad. One person received a broken ankle. Transportation for University of Illinois athletics changing lanes effective immediately. U of I announcing it will not be using Peoria Charter services anymore for the first time in more than 20 years. Peoria Charter was informed on June 19 that the university would not be using their services anymore. You're up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
The Champaign County Fair's July 19th through the 27th. When it comes to some premier events at the Champaign County Fairgrounds in Urbana, it starts out with the preview night, July 19th. Enjoy the dirt track racing. The first Saturday of the fair, enjoy Military Day and, of course, the Demolition Derby. Western Day will wrap up that first weekend on Sunday with a terrific spotlight on horses. Learn more about the Champaign County Fair at champaigncountyfair.cc.
Looking for the best deal on your next vehicle? Visit Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. From sleek sedans to rugged SUVs, they've got it all. Their unbeatable prices and exceptional customer service make car buying a breeze. Plus, with their hassle-free financing options, driving off in your new ride has never been easier. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, Buick, GMC. Visit them today. Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com.
Thought, please.
Chris Carlin, Joe Fortenbaugh. This is Carlin versus Joe.
Joseph has to step away with Aaron Goldhammer filling in.
I get a text. Joe has to leave at 2:00 to go on BET. And I said, what?
Turns out BET, not just a random collection of letters, also forms a word. Bet.
Yes.
Carlin versus Joe. Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN app, and on SiriusXM Channel 80. Amber Indian.
You're not just paying Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson these days. You're paying the Jared Goffs of the world, and you're paying the Jalen Hurts of the world and the Joe Burrows of the world. And by the way, Joe Burrow, who has the highest per annual average, tied with Trevor Lawrence here at 55 per, I would make an argument has actually been far less durable in his NFL career than even Tua Tagovailoa.
Amber Indian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
It's been a year of first chances and last glances. A year of the impossible being possible. A year of unfinished business being finished. A year of bounce backs and breakthroughs. A year of inspiring a generation to become the next generation. I'm Serena Williams. Join me in honoring the best in sports, the ESPYs, live Thursday at 8 Eastern on ABC.
I'm Clinton Yates, kiddos, host of the podcast ESPN Daily. Every weekday morning, I'll bring you the best sports story you'll hear all day. Today on ESPN Daily. At last, the long wait for gamers is over. EA College Football is back, and today, ESPN staff writer Michael Rothstein explains why it went away and how it returned. That's ESPN Daily. Follow us and listen wherever you get good podcasts.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. We're ranking everything.
You rank us?
What's better? Who's better?
Rank them.
It's time to find out. This is Rank This.
You ranked them?
With Freddie and Harry.
So with you on Freddie and Harry, presented by Progressive Insurance. Time for another Freddie and Harry Rank This. We're going to get to some the pass catcher list that I have been teasing now for about an hour. I gave you my top 5 wide receivers. Gabe is going to give you his top 5 pass catchers, but we figured this is a good place to dump my highlights, my top 5 highlights of my international vacation, which I had the best time. And I will say that one thing that this vacation taught me is that everyone has time to take a break. I went to Asia for 16 days. And I loved every minute of it, minus the jet lag, which I am still struggling from, which is sometimes why I can't form a sentence, which under usual circumstances is questionable at best. But when you have a brain that's made of mush because of the time zones that your body is fighting off, that's what you get. But I'm going to give you my top 5 list. If you've been to any of these places, let us know. We also want to know your top 5 worst vacation or travel stories. And I'll give you the number to call in just a moment. But I went to Japan. I went to Tokyo. And I guess it's not really in any order because these are all great things. But coming in at number 5.
Number 5.
I went to this place called the Meiji Jingu Shrine. And it's in the Shinto tradition. It's a Buddhist temple. And it's gorgeous. It's this very vast, expansive park that has a temple that is dedicated to the old emperor of Japan. And they have these things called imas, which are basically wooden plaques that you can buy, and you can write a prayer on it. You can write whatever you want, and you leave it at the shrine, and whoever you pray to hopefully will answer the prayer. So I found this one as I was looking, thinking, okay, am I going to write anything? This little boy, or at least what I assume is a little boy and not a grown adult, named Ethan, left the following at the Meiji Jingu Shrine, which said, trying to find it on my phone right now, quote, "I wish that my sister will stop bullying me and have a really happy family."
Excuse me.
I just thought it was so funny that, like, I remember I was so sleep deprived and jet lagged, I was laughing my butt off, like, listening to reading that, but it was cool. I mean, we went to several shrines in Japan. That was the first one. Poor little Ethan. I hope your sister's being nicer to you now. I hope that this call out on ESPN Radio gets her, whips her into shape. Number 4. We went to another temple, happened to be in
no
Bali.
chance of finishing this,
No,
by
of
the
course.
way.
I'm just going to go try to rip through this, so then you can respond
Okay.
however you want to. We went to this temple called the Gates of Heaven in Bali. If you have Google it. It is spectacular and it's breathtaking. The one thing that irritated me, though, the culture over there, the tourist culture and the Instagram culture. Everybody wants their perfectly captured shot with the Gates of Heaven in the background. I told my mom and my brother, we are not waiting 3 hours to get our own shot. We're going to take it over here by ourselves. Number 3. In Japan, in the Ginza neighborhood, which is where all the cool shopping is, we found this under-the-radar sushi spot. We were actually in line for a ramen place, and this guy, as we were getting on a line because it was too crowded, said, "Hey, go upstairs to the second floor here in this nondescript building, and they serve sushi there." We walk in, and it's a place that literally only has enough food for 30 people, and then they call it off for the rest of the day. We are the last people in there. Best sushi I've ever had.
Number 2.
I got to bask on the beach in Bali and do nothing, which was incredible. And the ocean, the waves were some of the biggest I've ever seen. When I'm stressed out, like, that's where I go in my mind. Back to the beach in Bali.
Number 1.
Not opening my computer for work stuff for 16 days. Like, not having to pay attention to free agency until I came back, which was annoying to have to do on the airplane when you don't have Wi-Fi. But unplugging was number 1 for me because summers usually do not have those same sorts of... usually I'm much busier in the summer. But that's my list. We want to hear from you. What was your worst travel or vacation experience? 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Plus, Gabe is going to give you his list of the top 5 pass catchers. Coming up next here on Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
On any given day, dozens of people are experiencing homelessness in our community. Many have given up hope and have difficulty believing their life can be different. See You at Home has 7 homes supporting those desiring stability and self-sufficiency in this community. How can you help? Many of you have heard of One Winter Night. See You at Home's annual fundraiser held the first Friday in February. The need does not stop there. Announcing a new event, One Summer Day. Many people have a garage sale in the summer. This fundraiser is an opportunity to raise funds by hosting a garage sale in June, July, or August and donating all or a portion of the proceeds to See You at Home. Please consider repurposing for a purpose. Your support will help fund See You at Home's Pathways to Progress residential program, supporting men and women making their journey from homelessness to self-sufficiency. In the first year of the program, 15 people graduated and moved on to independent living. To learn more, go to seeyouathome.us. That's seeyouathome.us. Look on the homepage for the sun logo wearing sunglasses. You can make an impact for a lifetime.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Michaelis brings it home. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Have a cold one. On the Cardinals, don't miss Budweiser's first Beer Fridays at Busch Stadium. Tickets start at just $15 and include your first beer on the house. Each first Beer Friday ticket will be loaded with Cards Cash that can be used to purchase a Budweiser, Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, or any beverage of choice. For full details or to purchase tickets, visit Cardinals.com/Friday.
This is Miles Michaelis. Get your tickets now at Cardinals.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Look at that. Look at it. A pile of junk, a stack of rubbish, some buckets of yuck. Are you tired of looking at it? 2 Minute a Junk Truck is available for junk removal or dumpster rentals to get rid of your heap of muck, accumulations of dreck, and mountains of cast-offs. Go to 2minuteajuncktruck.com and schedule your time. Let us help you make room for what matters most.